Mic check. 1, 2, 3. We talking about crack from you to
Crack
me.
cocaine. I mean, I don't know. I felt like this was
What?
all the shit we already knew about crack cocaine in America.
Yeah. But it's some stuff
I'm gonna lie, I did like it though. Even though it shit I already knew, I did like it.
It's on the beat, make it boom.
Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. As always, I'm Alan Ford.
I'm Will Hill.
And today's documentary is called Crack, Cocaine, Corruption, Conspiracy. The 4 C's. Located on Netflix. If you got Netflix.
Wait, how many? What's the title?
It's Crack, Cocaine. It's called Crack. That's the big letters.
All right.
And underneath in small letters says Cocaine, Corruption, Conspiracy.
Okay.
And they covered all 3 of those aspects in order, actually.
I mean,
Of the documentary.
I hope that at least they'll cover them all. You got it in your title.
Yes. At some point, this felt kind of one-sided, race-wise.
Because crack is.
Yeah, crack is one-sided race-wise. It is.
Crack
But
is one-sided.
Let's take you back, way back.
You know what they say, born in the 80s, crack baby.
They were crack. They started off as cocaine babies at first.
Yeah.
Yes.
The cocaine trade.
Yes, it started off as cocaine.
It was cocaine was and still is a party drug. I've never done it. It's not for me.
And of course, crack. The most famous person they interviewed. They interviewed some drug dealers, some users.
Yeah, always Freeway Ricky Ross.
Freeway Ricky Ross.
Like you can't talk about crack cocaine without talking to Freeway Ricky Ross.
You cannot.
It's pointless.
It is.
You don't have a real documentary if you talk to this man because he don't turn them down. Yeah, he's done every single last one of them since he's been released.
One that sold it as a rock. Apparently, it was the first one. They started about the cocaine thing. One of the guys said, I think he said the former user, who is now I think an activist. He said he would be
always
for
do that.
3 days
of cocaine.
Off of cocaine.
Yeah, I've heard, bro. That's not like an uncommon thing.
3 days though.
That's not an uncommon thing. I've heard people say that.
3 days.
Yeah.
You just up
no sleep, just up, and every time you get sleepy, you do another bump.
He don't want to go to sleep. What do you think will happen if you fall asleep?
No, so I've heard. Again, I don't do cocaine. My sinuses are terrible. I couldn't even do it. I've heard that like the come down is rough, right? So you avoid that shit at all costs, right? Because it's a party drug. It's an upper, so you get real hyper and all this other shit, right? And then the come down, you be really depressed. Was that the sound of the come down?
No, you keep saying come, and I'm
oh yeah, you're a child. Yeah, the decline is like real rough. Is that better? Decline?
It is. And cocaine clears your sinuses.
Either that or clog it up.
Yeah, or you can take it up the butt too.
Wow,
Yeah,
didn't know that.
Get higher. It goes faster in the bloodstream.
Do you do that yourself or somebody does that for you?
I don't even do cocaine.
No, I'm just saying, like, do you just like? I don't know.
Yeah, I never know how you get it. You have to like.
Somebody gotta blow it.
Okay, that's
it's a funnel. It's a funnel with cocaine in your. All right, we get off track.
That got real off track. Cocaine up the butt.
Hey, that was you.
Cocaine's a white drug, though. We all know cocaine's literally a white drug.
Yeah. It was
Color,
hella expensive.
Yeah,
so like it was seen as the upper class drug of choice because the poor people couldn't afford it.
You know what else I have a problem with? These 80s babies talking about you kids imitate all the stupid shit. No, y'all used to imitate snorting cocaine because you saw Scarface. We used to pretend to snort cocaine. What? Who wants to pretend to snort cocaine? Nobody.
70s,
they made
60s
that
kids.
Popular. These 80s babies. And you know what they gonna say? It was the 80s. Nah.
Well, the people partying in the 80s were born in the 70s and 60s.
Right.
So those 60s kids doing shit. And then the 80s babies is just a product of that.
I'm like, since we talking about this, I'm afraid to scratch my nose.
I don't want to make it look like you do cocaine.
Not the. I don't want to look like.
Like you've done extensive research.
But then they found out about freebasing because of
Richard Pryor, because he was honest in his comedy.
Yeah, he was honest. He was on, and it was on the news.
I mean, he caught fire. I mean,
he caught on fire.
Ran through the neighborhood.
Yeah, it was basically just cutting off the middleman. He went straight to
right
the natural substance.
Yeah,
got himself on fire.
I don't know, man. My major issue is like this is shit we already knew.
Yeah,
for it to be like a new, it came out in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is a fairly new.
More in depth of it. More
in depth of what? Okay,
I don't know. I guess it was more in detail of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was good anyway.
But they broke it down. So that was the cocaine part.
Right.
Then
the predecessor to crack.
Then the crack. Then we talking about crack, which they talk about the corruption of crack.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a lot of people in poverty and all that stuff.
Yeah, crack was cheap.
One guy said they used to be broke. They used to find ways to make money. Sometimes they used to help the lady walk the groceries to her car. Other times they would take the groceries,
run off with her groceries.
Follow up and say anything I had to do to survive.
I mean, if you think about it, man, they had black people living like a third world country inside of the United States. Like seriously, yeah. These people lived like the cities didn't take care of the streets. The nothing that would go wrong with the cities like dwellings. You know what I'm saying? So like they would get into a hub like the projects and don't do shit city wise to upkeep it. Then people there didn't really have job opportunities. If they did, it was at minimum wage at best. And then, of course, we know they incentivized not having a man in the household. And then they kept everybody on food stamps. So, like, if you decided to go get a legit job, now you have to pay for the groceries, which then puts you back at the poverty line. So, like, it was almost better to just not have a job. And then, of course, here come the drugs.
Here come the drugs. The money, they would make it from selling crack.
Yeah.
They would make it, and they had to sell the crack to
survive. It was
they had to not only to survive, but the clientele they had to sell the crack to. Like Freeway Ricky Ross said, he would get $1 million a day through his hands, and his portion would be like, like 3,000, 4,000,
right?
350,000, 450,000 a day. That's insane.
After siphoning through a meal.
Now I'm here filling out a job application.
Ain't nobody doing crack no more. I'll take that back.
I'll be a terrible crack dealer because you got to cook it too.
Right. That was the thing though. So like the first people doing crack was doing it themselves. Right. They was teaching each other the recipe and they were doing it themselves. But then the dealers found out people prefer not to do it. Yeah. And they was like, I'll rock it up for you.
Yeah, that's it. Just rock it up myself. My dumb ass tasting.
You breaking one of the 10 crack commandments. You ain't supposed to get high on your own supply.
Never. But the corruption is, people forget what that was doing to the neighborhood.
I don't think people forget. It was, see, the thing is, I think a lot of people glance over is how it got there in the first place. Right? With cocaine being such an expensive drug, such a first world problem drug, how did all of a sudden these impoverished youth in these poverty-stricken neighborhoods, I'm talking about living well below the poverty line, able to afford cocaine enough to rock it? You know what I'm saying? Like that never made sense to me.
And where do they put the money at?
Who?
To like buy all the stuff they buy.
What do you mean?
The crack dealers.
They bought houses and shit?
Well, one dude said he bought a car. Wasn't even old enough to drive.
Yeah.
Driving to school.
Yeah, middle school.
Yeah,
middle school. Man,
cold hard cash.
He pulled up to middle school.
Cash.
In a car. Jesus. Okay.
You know what they said in the 80s? I heard them make America great again.
Yeah, right?
I was like,
fucking Ronald Reagan. This is what this should have been named.
No, Trump's stealing shit, man. Trump out here joke stealing.
To me, that just begs the question, when was America great if back in the 80s they was trying to make America great again? How far back are we going?
We don't even know. How far back can you go?
Oh no, I blame all this shit on Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He started all this shit, to be honest, right? Yes. He allowed the drugs to come in because they was funding the war in Nicaragua. You know what I'm saying? And then they even touched on how once the Senate got hold of what they was doing, people in Congress is like, we can't do that. We can't pay for this war, and we're fighting a war here on these drugs. We're not paying for it. And then they had to find another way to make money by selling weapons to Iraq and Iran.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk about full circle conspiracy.
Very good. Now we have to see the conspiracy.
This shit was crazy.
They covered all those C's.
Yeah.
They did.
You like real gung-ho on them covering all the C's.
Oh, man, I'm on painkillers right now. I threw my back out
eating pancakes. What? That's a hell of a story.
But it was, yeah. Yeah, when they had that, I think it wasn't no town hall meeting. What was kind of meeting?
It was a Congress meeting.
Yeah, like the Congress meeting.
Yeah.
And I was like, just the one black guy was like, this some bullshit. And everybody just started going, yeah.
Bro, like, looking back at it, it set forth the whole war in Iraq.
Yes.
Right? We gave them weapons because some people in Congress doing the right thing, like we're not funding this war in Nicaragua. You know what I'm saying?
This cocaine is not made in America because you need cocaine for crack.
Right. So, bro, somebody made a great point that it was harder to sneak over a Cuban cigar than it was kilos of cocaine.
Yes, that's it.
So
first 10 minutes of it.
That tells you right there, as a government, what they was really worried about. Right? They supposed to be fighting this war on drugs, but you can't get a Cuban cigar. But somehow or another, the streets was flooded with cocaine. I dare anybody to try to tell me like that the whole crack epidemic was not pushed forward through the government. Right. I dare anybody to try to break that down to me and tell me that it wasn't true, because crack only showed up in the black and brown neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
So, and like,
most of it was in LA.
A lot of,
the big portion.
That was a gateway, yeah.
That was a gateway. Was in LA.
They had the ports and stuff. That's how they was getting most of it in. Between LA and Florida, that's what the two main places the cocaine really.
It made its way to New York.
Yeah, I mean, it got pushed through only through communities below the poverty line.
And then some of these communities, people were paying off the cops so they can shut up.
I mean, that's happens to this day.
That was just movie shit.
No, what that happens to this day? What these cops take bread? What I mean, because a lot of times, bro, the side money is equal, if not greater, to their salary, and all you got to do is nothing. That's like,
just let that shit go by.
All you got to do is nothing.
Yeah, show you. There's a lot of corrupt cops out here.
It's corrupt people.
Corrupt people, not corrupt cops. Yeah.
Corrupt people.
Corrupt people. The one guy said he got caught by two of these cops, and the cop was like, "When you doing it?" And he's like, "Nothing." Nothing. And then he grabbed the bag and he opened it. He just gave it back.
Nothing but crack rock. No, nothing but crack rock in his bag.
Big ass bag. Nothing. A big ass bag of crack. He just gave it to him. And he said, tell your boss. Tell your boss I said,
I did you a favor.
He came back and told him, he was like, oh yeah, man, we paying him off. Get
back out there, man.
Money to be made,
losing money.
Get back out there to work. And that was it. That's when he found out the cops were really hot.
That's shit crazy. I mean, the cops used to be there while they was like selling. It was a free market. You didn't have to hide selling crack rocks.
No.
Police just drove through and watched you sell it because it didn't affect them. No. Right? Even though it was a crime, it most definitely was a crime. Again, to me, this shows the whole mentality that they knew what was going on. They knew it was bad for the community. And as a government body, they chose not to give a fuck because who it was happening to. Right? So again, is it even a conspiracy at this point? It's facts. This is not speculation. It's legit paperwork on this.
That it's not a conspiracy?
Yeah. I mean, there's have been.
I mean, the conspiracy is, well, why did they pick? Why?
Why what? To keep the black man down.
Yeah, see, that's it's still a conspiracy because there's no legit answer to why they did it.
I mean, to get money, to fund money down in Nicaragua for the war. Because they wanted to overthrow the political party that was down there.
Not knowing this, it was tearing up.
Oh no, they knew.
Bro,
they knew.
That's why New York didn't have any grass for a while. Like you see the Bronx and all that. Like, how is crack destroying the grass?
Because the city didn't take care of it.
Because of the crack?
No, because where it was.
Scene, they was showing somebody just Like they showing like a kid just walking in vials, like the little vials.
Yeah.
It's like that's insane.
Again, the government didn't give a fuck because where it was happening, but we know this. Looking back, at history, we can see how they treated the opioid addiction. You know what I'm saying? How they went after doctors.
Opioids still a thing.
Yeah, but they went after the doctors prescribing these drugs, overprescribing these drugs. Even as some of the doctors who unknowingly prescribed these drugs, and these people got addicted, they was able to get sued. Some of them lost their license for malpractice, but we can't file no lawsuit against the government for putting crack cocaine into the black neighborhoods, right?
You can't do that.
Why not? If they could do it for the opioids because it affected white people,
you still need proof to file a lawsuit. Well,
it's proof. There is.
Do you got the crack on you?
No.
Okay. Unless you got the crack on you, ain't no proof.
Ain't no proof of
and
what?
Then you go to jail because you got crack on you in the courtroom. There's no winning.
Well, look, even with the sentencing, thanks to Reagan, for every gram of crack that you had, you could face up to 5 to 40 years.
Yeah,
but it took
that's
for 1 gram.
Multiply that by 8.
What was it? Was it 8 or was it 10?
8 times 5 is 40.
Oh, but then like when it came to powder cocaine, you needed 10 times that amount to even get close to that type of jail sentence.
That's insane.
But where was crack versus where was cocaine?
I always think, well, you also got to think about this. It's 2 different types of people when you cocaine and crack. Like, do you ever seen the cokehead?
Yeah.
He just got all these ideas and all this energy. Yeah, for 3 days.
Mm-hmm. But they commit crimes too to keep up their habit.
That is true. But they do it. Why they do the crack? Crackheads, totally different. They probably smoked that crack a week ago.
Wait, yeah, now they fiending.
Yeah, they fiending, taking shits on the subway. They do it all.
I don't know.
They take shits on the subway.
Have you witnessed this, sir?
Yes, I have.
You sound traumatized.
It's a lot going on today. And man, like one lady said, they really didn't help people out with drug problems either.
No, they didn't help
One
people
lady
out with
said
crack
she
problems.
Went to jail 6 times. Now she said, did I have a crime problem, or did I have a drug and alcohol problem? And I was thinking, where the hell did alcohol come in this whole documentary?
I mean, she was whatever.
It was about crack. Why is she talking about alcohol?
Because
they
went hand to hand.
I think she was high on that.
They went hand to hand.
No, not alcohol and crack.
Yeah, most crackheads.
What they serving at bars?
Right.
Alcohol.
Alcohol is a legal drug where people get fucked up and do shit.
That should be illegal.
I like
how
alcohol.
many drunk driving things have happened?
100%. Yeah.
Alcohol.
Yeah, but how many times have people blacked out from drinking and do some crazy off the wall shit that's like totally out of their character when they get sober? They like, oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, but crack, you awake.
For how long?
A month.
I say a month.
A month.
We all seen the crackhead nod.
You can't even apologize. You can't even apologize after you do something on crack. It's like, man, I'm sorry, man.
I was on crack. I was on crack. Like, you was on what?
Hey, what? You was on crack.
Hey, one thing I did learn because then they kept going. They started talking about the crack babies, quote unquote crack babies, and how even when people would try to reach out in these hospitals, they will call the police on them. Right? Some of the nurses just be like, are you on any drugs? And people being honest with the nurse so their baby can have the best chance, of being healthy when they're born. They go, yeah, I've, done crack. And instead of helping these people, because these people are seeking out help, the nurses would call the police and they would go to jail. Then they started putting people in jail for like child neglect, giving drugs to a child for the first few minutes after it was born, talking about since it's in the umbilical cord that they gave this kid crack and they was sentencing him to jail.
That technically is killing the baby.
Well, not killing the baby, but giving a child drugs. Like, come on, like they shot the baby up.
No,
like,
I mean, like
they took drugs unknowingly. Well, I ain't gonna say unknowingly. They knew what the fuck they was doing.
Yeah, the baby's inside it.
So, I mean, you fine with that?
Not calling. If you look seeking for help, not calling the police. But if you're smoking crack while you got the baby, that's technically endangerment still.
So they should go to jail right after the baby's born.
I don't think no pregnant person should go to jail. You seek help. I don't believe in not going to jail. I don't believe in that. What was that?
No, I'm listening.
What was that?
I mean, because you kind of changed the way I thought about it.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, if they seeking help, no. If they just doing it and not seeking help, yes. That makes sense.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the media jumps all over this. That one scientist or doctor, whatever, puts out a report. Actually, it was from Chicago. The one doctor that put out the report on crack babies. They were saying up to 60 to 70% of kids in school had crack in their system at some point.
God damn.
That's what they were saying, right? And that was,
damn.
I thought, I ain't gonna lie, I borderline thought that shit was true. I thought everybody was doing crack.
The painkiller kicked in on that one. God damn.
I thought everybody was doing crack in the 80s. So born in the 80s, crack baby. Not really a true saying, because after the real research was done, it was closer to 2% of children born with crack in their system. 60 to 70 down to actually 2? Bro, that's propaganda.
So it went from 60 kids to 70?
No, they were saying 60 to 70% of kids in school in the 80s, they were speculating at some point had crack in their system because their mother had done crack while pregnant. But in actuality, it was closer to 2%.
I don't even know how they fuck up that number.
Because they had one report and they ran with it. It wasn't peer reviewed yet. There was no other studies done. My man said one thing and the media ran with it. Oh, look at, and of course, when they go to show where this epidemic was happening, where are they going? To the black neighborhoods where the cops are snatching parents out of the household because they found one piece of crack, right? And then the one dude was like, even if you was with your friends, and your one friend had 10 vials of crack, they would split it amongst everybody, so everybody was going to jail because all you needed was a gram to get 5 years.
Right.
I'm like, yo, like, this is documented. This is not a theory. This is not some wild conspiracy. These are documented cases that you can go and see for yourself. Like, and I think the whole thing really set the precedent on how they treated black people, period, like in the government. This was just one of the things that had come to light, or had came to light, on a bunch of, I want to say, conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Like, I think it's insane.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question.
Uh-huh.
I feel this way about this documentary. Is this one of those ones? This feels like one of those one-sided.
You want to just rate it? Oh, no.
No. This feels like one of them one-sided documentaries.
Like, who didn't get a voice? Which side didn't get a voice?
I don't know. I feel like if it was, I will say I would like to hear the white side. Maybe because I know what crack has done. I know what it does. I know what crack has done. I know all about that shit.
I'm just saying.
I believe it's that too. But I also want to hear from, like, I don't know, white people from that time who was in that government and what really happened. They never really talked to those people.
I mean, we heard Hillary Clinton call us super predators.
I mean, like, an actual interview with these people. I want to hear their side. Whoever was part of the government in the 80s.
Biden was.
I want to hear. He has never talked about it.
He has. He said he realized that was a dark point in history. He was on the wrong side of history at that time.
Okay, so if he said it, I wish we can bring Reagan back to life and ask him. He did.
I think so. Okay. If not, he should be.
That nigga dropped that shit off. Just like off of Call of Duty.
George Bush Sr.
He did.
He did too?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
They dropped
We're comedians, not historians.
What's the crates called in Call of Duty when they airdrop it?
I don't know. I don't play Call of Duty.
Shit. Yeah, we're comedians, man.
All right, you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, man, I'm ready for these lemon pepper wings. All right, I give it a good, I give it a 3.5. One, I fell asleep the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it did drag.
Yeah. No, not because it dragged. I was into it. I hurt my back, and I took some pills. But I figured what the last 10 minutes were about. It was just about to finish up the conspiracy part. But I gave it a 3.5. I was into it.
Yeah.
I was watching it. It was nice. I was into it. It's kind of stuff I already knew a little bit, but a little bit more in depth into it. What about you?
Did you say in depth? In depth?
No, I said.
It's like you said in depth.
Right.
I feel like we do this at least once an episode.
Somebody can't pronounce the word. Somebody can't pronounce it. I gotta go through it. Somebody can't pronounce the word.
I give it a 3. Because again, I feel like it was information that I personally know. Scary to think about that there's a lot of people out here who don't know this stuff, right? I don't know. It's stuff I knew, so like it was decent. It explained the timeline between cocaine, crack, the war on drugs, the actual war in Nicaragua, about Nicaragua. Then actual how they sold the weapons to Iraq and Iran, which in turn backfired because we had to fight them with the weapons we gave them, which remind me of like Iron Man when he got kidnapped and they had all his weapons over there.
In a cave
but they was using Stark weapons.
Yeah.
He was like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's what America was like. We get over there and we gave them all these weapons to get money from them, and now we got to fight them with the weapons we gave them. Like, that's dumb as hell. But they knew what the fuck was going on. So, I hope, I'd suggest people watch it.
I suggest y'all watch it.
If you have any
check it out.
Any I want to say discourse towards people from the 80s who done crack.
Yes.
It gave you some good insight on. Now, don't get me wrong, man. These people had choices. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to do this stuff, but if it was pushed in your face, quick way to get money, I could see how it could be extremely enticing.
Yeah. Some people
I can see how a lot of people fell prey.
And then some people just smoke it to get away from life. We understand that, but there's better ways. Smoke weed.
Is that the whole to wrap it up?
Wrap up. Oh shit!
Is that to wrap it up? Smoke weed.
I guess.
Don't do crack. Smoke.
Yes, that brings us to my next thing. Kids, don't smoke crack.
That's it.
I was doing my PSA.
Okay.
When they do the PSA.
The more you know.
The more you know. Don't smoke crack.
What they say? Just say no.
Oh, okay. Wait. You looking at the camera?
Okay.
Just say no. That's how you do that. All right. That concludes this episode. Let's talk about it.
Hey, if y'all got any documentaries that y'all want us to watch and review, please put them down in the comments.
Yes. Follow us at LDAI Pod 22 on Instagram. Subscribe to YouTube channel, Let's Talk About It. Facebook, Let's Talk About It. Spotify, Let's Talk About It.
We here.
Follow me on Instagram at Forda Comedy or all social media at Forda Comedy.
Y'all can follow me everywhere. Simply just Will. And we out.
We out. Peace.
X on the beat, make it boom.